Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of CommuNInqué. This episode is going to be focusing solely on the Smash Bros. Wii U Nintendo Direct that just occurred and just ended about 3 minutes ago at the time of this recording. And so I am super hyped right now. This is amazing. This is a ridiculous amount of new things. I'm not going to be able to post any images as of yet, but I'm going to post a kind of a collage sort of thing with happy music playing in the background, I don't know. I'll post as many images as I can later, but for the video right now, it's just going to be solely info dump. There's going to just be a bunch of information I'm going to be shooting at you guys really quick, just kind of rapid fire. I'll try to go into as much detail as possible, and so we'll see. And so, starting off with, the default fighters lineup for the Wii U version has over 40 fighters, starts with more than the 3DS version. It looks like Ness, Ganondorf, and Jigglypuff are going to be in. I'm not sure if any of the other characters are going to be on the starting lineup, but Falco and Lucina are unlockable still. I'm not sure who else is. I'm not sure if Game & Watch, Bowser Jr., Duck Hunt are all still unlockable, or whether they're going to be in the starting lineup. We'll see. And so, the movesets are going to be the same between versions, this makes sense. Resolution is much better on the Wii U, obviously, and the highest quality in all of Smash. There's going to be up to 8-player battles simultaneously on the screen. Of course, with an 8-player battle, there's going to be bigger stages that they're going to have. It's a special mode, and you can only do it on particular stages and can't do it online. And also, there's going to be 5-player, 6-player, 7-player matches as well. And so, the 8-player levels, or specifically designed for them, are Palutena's Temple. It's enormous. If you watch the Nintendo Direct, it's just a huge stage. Temple from Melee got brought back. It's the same stage, but it's been kind of enlarged. It's been brought up to scale to fit an 8-player battle. It's also enormous. And then Big Battlefield, basically Battlefield, put up to a scale that 8 players can function well on it. And then the Great Cave Offensive, the stage that I discussed in my last episode, the CommuNInqué Mini. This is the one based off of the Kirby Superstar mode, and it's going to be this big cave complex sort of system with lava danger zones, as they're called, that are an instant KO if you're over 100% or just hurt you if you hit them if you're under. And then the next thing is there's a stage called Jungle Hijinks from Donkey Kong Country Returns, and it's unique in the fact that it has 2 planes of play. There's one in the foreground and one in the background, and you travel between both with cannons, and you can fight on both simultaneously, not as one character, but like 2 characters in the foreground, 2 characters in the background, etc. And so those cannons, after one use, will explode if you get in them again, so you have to use a different cannon or wait for it to cool down, I believe. And so this is going to be really interesting. There's going to be more stages on the Wii U than the 3DS version, obviously. They kind of ran through a lot of them. It says like the structures of the stages are different between versions. I'm not exactly sure how that is, but it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. And so some of the ones they showcased were obviously the ones we've seen before, like the Star Fox stage, the Kalos Pokemon League stage, etc. And then they ran through some clips of the 3DS stages, and then they started off, I think, with all of the Wii U stages. I'm not necessarily sure, don't take my word for it that this is all of them, but I only caught a few as they were going through. I will include pictures of all of the stages that they showed in that collage sort of episode that I'll probably be putting up tomorrow. And so, here are just some of them really quick. Mario Circuit, Yoshi's Island from Melee, Lilac Cruise from Brawl, Mario Circuit from Brawl, 75M from Brawl, many Brawl stages returning, Luigi's Mansion, etc. The Woohoo Island stage, the Miiverse, there's a Miiverse stage that's going to have the drawings that people put up on Miiverse for their favorite characters that Nintendo will select. It's not ready yet, and it won't be there by release, but it will be included in the update. So, DLC stage is confirmed, I guess. And then the Snake Codex, how in the Snake stage in Brawl, how if you taunted or did something specific, each character would have their own description, as Snake talks to Otacon or Slippy Toad in either Fox or Falco's case, I can't remember. And this is going to be brought back, but except it's going to be Palutena and Viridi conversing to Pit about fighters in the game. in the Palutena's Temple stage. If you down taunt as Pit, it'll activate this, and they will talk about each fighter having a unique dialogue for each. And then both of the Star Fox stages, the new one and Lilac Cruise, are going to have radio chatter between Fox, Falco, Peppy Hare, and Slippy Toad. And so this is going to be interesting to see if it varies too much, or if it's going to be similar to the one in Melee, where it was just kind of a very brief and kind of repeated dialogue. And then the next thing is that Gower Plains, the Xenoblade Chronicles stage, we know it was in the 3DS version, and now being in the Wii U version, it also gets the stage boss of Metal Face, which is really interesting. We did conjecture that this was going to happen due to Shulk's trailer. Right at the end, it had Metal Face talking to Shulk, and his shadow kind of hovering above. And so he functions just like similarly to Yellow Devil in the fact that he just appears. He appears only at night, apparently. I'm not sure if this is night in actual time, like real time, or if it's in game time, like Gower Plains cycles through a night-day cycle. I'm not sure. And so we'll see if it's actually like night-night, like it's dark outside here in the real world, or if it's going to just be something that the stage cycles through. And then he can be KO'd, and so it's once again similar to Yellow Devil. The next is in Pyrosphere. Ridley is a stage boss. Sorry all you Ridley fans out there, he's not a character. He got really close. Like, this is ridiculous what they do with him. If you attack Ridley enough, he will join your side and then attack other fighters other than you for you, if you do enough damage to him. This is... he was so close to becoming a character, and Sakurai just slapped everyone in the face by not doing it, not sealing the deal. He can also become Meta Ridley, if he absorbs a certain energy, as it says, a certain mysterious energy, like the Direct says. And if you KO Ridley, it will give you a point in time match, which is... he was so close. Literally, the Ridley fans are going to be crying over how close Ridley got to being a character. Like, you can KO him and you can get points from KOing him, and yet he's not playable. There's going to be raging in the streets. And so many Metroid enemies appear on the stage as well. I'll go through those in the collage video that I'll put up. And so the next things are kind of just not as big information. Like, time and stock matches are obviously in. Coin battles are back. They weren't in 3DS version. Same thing with stamina battles as well. They're back in the Wii U version, as well as special smashes where you can turn on, like, your character has metal, has bunny ears, has the curry effect, etc. And then item frequency is back. This was something that a lot of people were complaining was not in the 3DS version. You couldn't change the frequency of items. It was either on or off, and there was no way to change it, but now it's back, so that's really handy. I'm really glad it's back. My Music is back, which is the setting from Brawl where you could go in and change the frequency that each of the soundtracks happened on each of the stages. So if you didn't like a certain Mario soundtrack, you could turn that one off pretty much, or turn it lower and set your favorite ones on a higher frequency to show up. And there is tons of music in this game. So much music. More than double the amount of music than the 3DS version has, according to the Direct. And so this is going to be ridiculous. Almost all the Nintendo 3DS music will be in the Wii U version, plus an additional huge amount of music. And so they kind of went into how the increase in songs also means there's an increase in composers. I'm not exactly sure where they were going with this. It's kind of a no-brainer, but it was something included. And so the next thing is that CDs are back. The CDs were an item from Brawl that were dropped every once in a while, dropped by the Pokemon Mew, and in other cases where you could pick them up and it would collect the soundtracks for certain stages. And so these are back, unfortunately, in a way, because it's just one more thing to collect. And for some people that's a good thing, to be able to have something to complete, to be a completionist sort of thing. And so we'll see how that works, how many of these soundtracks are going to be collectible, whether it's going to be like the 3DS version, start out with 2 soundtracks for each stage and then you have to build off of that, or how much it's going to start off with. We'll see. And so once again, you collect them during battles. And now the Wii U challenges page is down to 1 page. It's not the 3 pages thing like the 3DS version, but there are a lot of challenges. And so basically I'm assuming they're going to be similar to the 3DS version or Brawl, where you just complete the challenge, the 4 around it become available to see what they are. And then the Wii U's Classic will be different from the 3DS. Instead of choosing the path you take, it is now skill-based, depending on how well you do, how many times you die, etc. In each of the matches in Classic, that is how the path will be decided that you go on. And there's going to be, obviously, some random elements and such. And Master Hand is still the final boss, Crazy Hand, Master Core, etc. But we'll get to that later. The intensity can still be changed for it, similar to the 3DS version, where you go up to 9.0, spend coins, or go below 2.0 for easier and spend coins, or stay at 2.0 and not spend anything at all. And then Classic or All-Star Clears will give you short movies for each fighter, similar to the older titles, the older Melee and Brawl, where they had the short kind of little mini videos afterwards with just kind of showcasing each character. And then All-Star Mode is back, obviously, and instead of being in chronological order like the 3DS version where you battle the oldest fighters to the newest fighters, it's going to be reversed. You fight the newest fighters first and then the oldest fighters last. Interesting quirk, it'll be fun to play around with. And then Event Mode is back from Brawl. It's kind of like a maze in its setup. You complete an event and then different pathways open up and you can complete events that way, and it's kind of just like a big web of events. And so 2-player events are also back. And it's going to be similar to Brawl. Like one that I saw was the original heavyweights. It looked like it was a Bowser and Donkey Kong face-off and stuff like that. So it's going to be similar to the previous versions in that. And then the next bit of news, is Smash Run is exclusive to the 3DS. It's an interesting mode. I really enjoyed it, and unfortunately it's not coming to the Wii U version, but instead the Wii U version is getting what is called Smash Tour. This is a board game you can play up to 4 players with. You spin a wheel to advance. It's almost like a Mario Party-esque sort of thing. You collect fighters as you move around the stage to use in battle. And players who cross your space, you will end up fighting, and if you win against them, you can steal fighters from them. And there are power-ups littered around the stage that are the Smash Run power-ups, but just around the stage. And then there's a final showdown once again, but it's a stock battle with all of the fighters you've collected during your board game, your Smash Tour as it were. And so there's obviously an advantage to collecting more fighters. You'll get the boosts and the fighters combined, so each of your fighters you'll count as a stock. And so you'll fight with that fighter, and if he gets KO'd, you move on to the next fighter until you've run out of the fighters that you collected. And then Target Blast is back, also similar to the 3DS, but the second bomb is bigger and heavier than the first bomb. So it requires, I guess, more strategy in a sense to be able to do this. It'll be interesting to see how this affects Target Smash. Target Smash was an interesting twist on the original Target Blast or Target Smash. And so we'll see how it works out. There are 3 types of Target Smash stages. They didn't really go into detail about what those 3 types are, so we'll see. There is Group Stadium back. You can do 2 players simultaneously home run, or 4 players kind of consecutively, like first player, second player, third player, fourth player go and see who wins. 4-player multi-man smash simultaneously. All sorts of fun things you can do with the stadium. The Master Hand and Crazy Hand have challenges in that post of the day, I believe that came out last week, where Sakurai kind of just teased the mode. It was something we didn't know. It was Master Blank and Crazy Blank. We didn't know what that was. It's now known as Master Orders, Crazy Orders. Master Orders have you try to beat challenges on the orders you get and choose, and those tickets for the orders can only be tried once and you get rewards. Crazy Orders, on the other hand, costs gold at entry, and the longer you survive, the harder the battles get. You get far enough and you end up facing Crazy Hand, and if you beat him, then you win a lot more. But it's kind of a greater risk, greater reward sort of system, just like the rest of the game, like increasing the intensity on Classic gives you greater rewards, but it's harder to beat, etc. And then Master Hand is Final Boss in Classic. Master Core is still in the game, same forms, except for one more form as well, which is called the Master Fortress, which appears on higher intensities. I'm assuming the 8.0, 9.0, kind of where what they've now dubbed the Master Giant appeared in the previous one, the form where he could pick up the stage, suck you into his head-like protrusion, etc. And Master Fortress seems almost like a Smash Run stage, where you have to navigate a series of platforms and a kind of maze-like lattice where you have to find certain, it looks like almost like pustules sort of things, where you have to attack those and defeat, basically explode them to be able to beat Master Fortress, as it were. And then they went on to controller options for this. There's, I think, 7 controller options. You can use the Wii Remote Plus on its own, Wii Remote and Nunchuck, the Wii U Gamepad, the Wii Classic Controller, the Wii Classic Controller Pro, the Wii U Pro Controller, the GameCube Controller, or the 3DS. And you can customize the button settings for all of these to however you want as well. And so it'll be interesting to see what controllers function best. I know the Wii U Pro Controller has the least input lag of wireless controllers that have been tried out, but the GameCube controller is probably going to still be the most favored, especially since the 3DS. The 3DS will be an interesting way to use the controller, but I don't see it really being popular because the 3DS controllers were kind of clunky, and they were also very kind of just, a lot of people are having trouble with their circle pads. So the next thing they talked about was the GameCube controller adapter, how it's going to work, how the bundle comes with it, as well as a new Smash Bros. GameCube controller. Stuff we already knew and stuff that's already on the main site. If you're really interested, you can go check it out on smashbrothers.com. And then the next bit is obviously it talks about the 3DS as a controller, and there's a set, kind of gave the step-by-step process of how to do it. There's a set of menus to go through. And then if you connect to the Nintendo 3DS with the Wii U version, you can carry over your custom characters and equipment. This was already known. I'm not sure what the extent will be of what carries over from the 3DS version to the Wii U version, but we'll see. And then the next thing they talked about was trophies. There's going to be more trophies in the Wii U version, obviously, and they're going to be focused more on home console games as opposed to the 3DS had focused more on the handheld games. And so we'll see what trophies end up being in the game. There's going to be probably around 800, 900 of them, and so I guess we'll find out. The final Smash trophies are back for each character. They're the reward for All-Star mode as opposed to the 3DS version, which gave you the alternate costume colors for the trophy reward. And then the next is, there's a new set of trophy boxes. It's basically, by collecting trophies, you can display them by theme. There's kind of these stands where you collect trophies and they fall into a certain theme, a certain place on a kind of big sort of table with indentations where each trophy should go, so you can know how close you are to completing that theme box, in a sense. And so it's going to be interesting. The photo studio's back. You can grade trophies like a diorama, similar to the Brawl version, but it does look a lot better. It looks a lot easier to move around. They're not stuck with the trophy bases, etc. Masterpieces are back, including games like Mega Man 2, Punch-Out!, Pac-Man, Super Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, Dr. Mario, Pilot Wings, Earthbound, Balloon Fight, Zelda 2. There were a lot. Kirby Superstar, like, there's going to be a lot of masterpieces. I hope they're a little bit longer than the Brawl masterpieces, which were like, at most, I think the longest was Ocarina of Time, which was like a 2-minute trial. I really hope they're longer, just because it really wasn't enough to give you a taste of the game, especially with some of the ones where it was difficult to get moving, like Ice Climbers and Kid Icarus. And so we'll see what happens. And then they went on to talk about Amiibo. The Amiibos can join you as a figure player, or FP as they call it. They'll be weak at first, but you can level them up and you can quote-unquote feed them equipment. And so I think the equipment changes to them will be permanent if you feed them the equipment, so you can just keep boosting until they're ridiculous. And so we'll see how that works once the game is actually released. And the Amiibo will bring you presents from the battle they fight in, including equipment, trophies, customs, etc. And so They went on to talk about internet connectivity. The Wii LAN adapter is still compatible and will be useful for those without a Wi-Fi connection. And then they talked about how there's going to be a kind of a notification bar, either from online or otherwise, that kind of runs across the top of the main menu, kind of like a breaking news sort of panning across. And so we'll see exactly what's going to be included in there. You can see the list of past notifications. I'm not exactly sure where. I think you click on that itself. And then you can play 2-player online, playing with someone else with you in your home from the same Wii U console, and you can both go online at the same time with the Wii U version and battle people online. Tourneys are going to be implemented online. You can host your own tourneys, and you can set different conditions similar to Special Smash, depending on what you want. And so this will be really useful. It's not going to be at release, it's going to come in a later update. And so this is something a lot of people have been asking for, especially for just like Smash Boards tournaments and such. So this is going to be really useful for those people. Tournament mode is back. You can play with up to 64 players. You can also watch replays of the matches in that tournament once it's done. The gamepad screen will show TV visuals, and you can also have it display like the damage and stock count or the point count, similar to what's shown on the bottom 3DS screen. There's also going to be an option called Paint. You can decorate photos that you've taken with the Wii U gamepad, drawing on them, and after an update you can also send these photos to people. Sorry. The next thing is going to be that voice chat is going to be compatible. You can use the voice chat when you're playing with friends using the gamepad. You can turn it on and off depending. You can talk to them pre-match and after-match. I'm not sure if you can talk to them during match. They said something about how it makes it so the internet connectivity for the game doesn't work quite as well. It may induce a bit of lag, and so it may be better to have voice chat off during a match, but before and after the matches to decide what you're going to do and such, it looks like it's going to be compatible. And then the stage builder is back. It's much more in depth. You can do freehand drawing to make the stage platforms. This is blessing from the gods. I mean, come on. You can draw stages now instead of having to focus on using only the pieces that they gave you. This is going to be incredible. You can do whatever you want with the stage platforms, and they still give you the accessories that they had in the Brawl version: springs, cannons, who knows what. And so the next thing is that sharing snapshots, custom stages, replays, and custom characters will be in, but not available at release. It's going to be in the update, like it said, with Paint. After an update, you can send the photos to people as well as all of these other things. There's many similarities between the versions. The online is all the same, it has the Conquest mode, the For Glory and For Fun, etc. And there's the replay channel's the same, the buttons are the same, the sounds are the same, the internet options are the same, rules are the same, Smash battles are the same, Team Smash is the same, training is the same, trophy shop is the same, albums are the same, sound test is the same, fighter records are the same, stats are the same, milestones are the same, tips and more are the same. So yeah. And then it kind of ended at that point, and then it started with the Bowser Jr. trailer. I was not expecting this because he teased the Duck Hunt trailer in the post of the day 2 days ago. And so I was kind of surprised that they were showing Bowser Jr. off already. It shows the Koopalings. It actually shows all of the Koopalings and Bowser Jr. in an 8-person Smash, which is kind of funny. And so it was really good. It had the airship theme music playing in the background for most of it. So it was really well done. I really enjoyed it, and I was expecting it for Bowser Jr. since they were going to do one for Duck Hunt, but I wasn't expecting Bowser Jr. quite yet. I was expecting Duck Hunt during this Nintendo Direct. And so the next thing is that in movies, all the trailers for the new characters will be in the game, so you can watch like Villager's reveal trailer, Mega Man's reveal trailer, Wii Fit Trainer's reveal trailer, all the way back from E3, which was when this all started, just all of these new characters. And this is going to be really fun. It'll be nice seeing them in HD rather than on my tiny little computer screen. So it talks about how if you have the sound test, first in the sound test, if you register both versions, both the 3DS version and the Wii U version, if you have both on Club Nintendo, you can receive CDs with the music from each version, which is really kind of cool. This is something that hasn't been done before, and so you can listen to them on, say, a portable CD player or a CD player in your home. or on your computer itself. And then, biggest announcement, huge, there is going to be DLC characters. I'm not sure if it's going to extend beyond the one that they announced, but oh my goodness, Mewtwo was confirmed to be a character that's going to come to both the 3DS and the Wii U version of the games for people who have bought both versions. So I apologize to all of you who only wanted to get one version. If you don't get both, you don't get the DLC. And so, oh my goodness, this is something that's never been done before. People were really kind of bummed when Mewtwo didn't get in and Dr. Mario did. And so, this is really just fan service at this point. It's really nice. He's going to be coming about spring 2015, according to the Direct, and as characters take a while to develop. And so, he'll be coming to both versions of the game, and I'm quite satisfied with this. I don't care that it's on both versions since I'm getting both anyhow. And so, oh, that's probably the biggest announcement from this. Basically the biggest things are 8-player Smash, and DLC characters as well as DLC stages. That's really I think the core things that we got from this, as well as all of this huge amounts of information. And so I think that's about it. I'll be putting up that collage of images from the Direct at some point, probably over the weekend if I have time. I'm still sick, as you know, and so we'll see how much I can get done. Plus, it's going to take a while to piece together all of these images from this Direct because there's just so many things showcased. And so, I guess that's pretty much it. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will be back as soon as possible with more information. I will probably be back tonight with whatever the post of the day is, since there's going to be one more this week. And so, until then, stay classy, YouTube.